Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, or whatever the case may be. My name is Marcus, and I am the host of the Black Brazil Today YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog, where I analyze Brazil from the perspective of race. So today I'm just going over a beauty competition that went down maybe a week or two ago. And just to get straight to the point, it's the second time a Black woman in Brazil was named as the winner of this pageant. Thielle Gois, crowned Miss Brazil Teen 2024, becomes the second Black woman to win this title. So before I even get into this video, let me ask that you like this video and share it, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell. And I just want to go over some of the details of this recent pageant. Obviously, as this is a topic that I've talked about quite a bit, the standard of beauty in Brazil and how Brazil wants to present itself or its people as, well, they want to consider that their best citizens are those who are close to the white standard. So again, you see a Black woman win something in Brazil, it's always big news. So let's go ahead and get into this story. So the history of Black women in Brazil Miss competitions is something that I covered, I think, in the last 2 weeks. The last story that I did about this just talked about, I revisited when the second Black woman in a row won in 2017 after a woman had won in 2016. Now, again, the overall history says that in 70 years of the Miss Brazil competition, only 3 Black women have won that competition. The first one was in 1986. And then after 1986, it took another 30 years before another Black woman was crowned. And then after 2016, in 2017, they named another Black woman. So anytime you see a woman of visible African ancestry being crowned for such a competition, is newsworthy. Brazil, even though it always claims that we're proud of our mixed race population, they have very Eurocentric standards in terms of beauty, in terms of what the phenotype of Brazil should look like. As we know, I've talked often about this idea of promoting mixing so that every generation of Black and brown family becomes whiter. And then, when I get into this and you see some of the faces of some of these women, you just have to ask yourself, what is white in Brazil? Because that's the reason why I want to look at the contestants, because I'm always questioning, like, does Brazil have its own standard for whiteness? Because I've talked about this very much, where a person who may be classified as white in Brazil, if they leave the country, if they leave Latin America and come to the US, for example, all of a sudden they're not visualized, they're not accepted as white. It may be because they speak Portuguese, English with a Portuguese accent. And in some cases, it's because people can just notice, like, well, you're not quite white here. So that's why I want to go through and just look at it was like 26, 27, 28 contestants. And I have to ask the question again, what is white? The reason why I ask this question is because there's a struggle going on in Brazil in terms of the narrative of what constitutes Black, what constitutes brown, what constitutes white. And people are always wanting to look at this and say, that person's not Black. That's a mixed person, right? You all should stop trying to claim these mestizos, these pardos, these mulattoes as Black, and they belong in the brown category. But my question is always, why is it that they never speak on this when it has to do with Brazilians who are probably of mixed race, but they identify themselves as white? I mean, truth be told, it's been, I don't know, maybe a month or so that it was declared that Brazil officially is a majority mixed race population. They say the group that's known as pardos, brown, or mixed people, a percentage of those which are clearly Black, they say these people are the majority in Brazil. And the point is, for me, mixed people have been the majority in Brazil forever, for a long time. I'm saying we know that a large percentage of the population that considers itself white is actually mixed too. They'll only be white in Brazil. So even though we look at Brazil and say 47% identifies itself as pardo or brown or mixed, and you have another, I don't even know what the percentage of people classifying themselves as white now, might be like 41 to 42, 43%, somewhere in there. But the point is, a chunk of that 42, 43% of those who declare themselves branco, meaning white, those people are mixed too. I'm going to give you an example of that when I go through the pictures of the contestants. But first, let's get into the story. Thielle Gois crowned Miss Brazil Teen 2024. Today's story is courtesy of Let's Go Bahia and Sergipe News. A group of 52 girls took part in the 8th edition of the 2024 Miss Teen Brazil pageant. 18-year-old Thielle, I guess it's Thielle, Gois, representing the northeastern state of Sergipe, was crowned the new Miss Teen Brazil. She is the second young Black woman to win a national title, succeeding Thainara Vargas, Roraima, the state of Roraima. Thielle competed against 28 other young people in the city of Curitiba in southern Brazil, and is now preparing to represent Brazil at the Miss Teen Universe. Curitiba, by the way, is the capital city of the state of Paraná, located in the southern region of the country. Okay. So this is another picture of the woman who just captured this title. Thielle expressed her happiness after her victory, highlighting the importance of art in her life. For the finale, the girl from Sergipe chose a bright white dress with transparent details, a white cape and feathers at the neckline. She received the crown from Maria Eugenia Raposo, who was the winner in 2022. Born in Umbaúba, a municipality located in the south of Sergipe state, the young woman who won the hotly contested contest enchanted everyone not only with her stunning beauty, but also with her friendliness and surprising resourcefulness, which surprised everyone during her speech, in which she highlighted her origins. Quote, I believe that my multiculturalism is enough of an example to prove that as a Black person from the periphery, you know, the outer regions of like major cities in the country, the granddaughter of an indigenous person, the daughter of a single mother, you can be whoever you want to be, and it's not your social parameters that will limit your dreams. Okay, well spoken. Another picture of the winner. The new Miss showed surprising resourcefulness and eloquence during her speech, where she expressed herself not only in Portuguese, but also in French, English, Spanish, languages that she taught herself. Thielle is passionate about books and sports and wants to visit Italy someday. This is her. I guess these are the two runners-up. In second place was Julia Ribeiro Navajo, also from Paraná, followed by Mirella Nascimento from Ceará, located in the northeast of the country. The other finalists were Ana Schmidt from Pará, the state of Pará, Laura Beatriz from Piauí, and Rafaela Ziolo from the state of Sao Paulo. Okay, once again, another picture of her in their winning moment. Thielle, a speech therapist student at the Federal University of Sergipe, plans to study psychology and inspire others to achieve their goals. She had been preparing for the contest since July of 2023 when she won the state stage of the competition. Another picture of the winner, that's Thielle. Thielle proved to be extremely well prepared to represent Brazil anywhere in the world, not only because of her beauty and her ability to express herself in several languages, but especially because of her intelligence, eloquence, and demonstration of how up-to-date she is with current affairs. Okay, so congratulations to Thielle. She's been named as the second Black woman to win the Miss Teen Brazil competition. So I wanted to just point out why this is actually important. Why are we talking about this right now? Is because, as I said, Black women have rarely won this competition. And when they do, as I said in a previous video, you know, people take issue with that. There's been a number of perhaps thousands of comments that just disagree with women who have a more visible, you can see visibly that they have African ancestry, you know, representing the standard of beauty in Brazil. And a lot of Black women feel like it's a title that they can't win. In 2016, Raíza Santana became the first Black woman in 32 years to win. And she spoke of the fear of competing in a contest because she was Black. At that point, 3 Black women, when she made this statement in 2018, as I said, at that point, 3 Black women in 64 years, now 70 years have won that title. The following year, this young lady, Mona Lisa Alcantara, she won the competition, and people immediately said, well, she has the face of a maid, whatever that means. I mean, we know that the majority of maids in Brazil are Black and brown, so what are they saying there? Well, the second year in a row, a Black woman is crowned Miss Brazil. And on and on. In that competition in 2016, they had the most number of Black women actually competing from each state of Brazil. They had 6 Black women in the running for the title. That was a huge deal. So this is the reason why this is important is, as I said, you just don't find it when you look at the pictures of Miss Brazil, even just the competitors in the competition, they're usually closer to the white standard. This is why this is such a big deal. Even when you look at the Miss Teen Brazil website for 2024, you see the young lady at the beginning, her face appears first on the Miss Teen website. Then you go down further, another picture of her, and then you see the winners, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and on down here. Most of these women, if they're not white, there's something close to white. As I say, there's a lot of people in Brazil who identify themselves as white, may not necessarily be white. And what I've come to conclude, and this is a question that I've always asking, does Brazil judge whiteness according to its own standards, in Latin America? And just like, I feel like in some ways it's a disservice to their people, because when these people leave out of the country, they go to other countries, like, you're not white here. I don't know what you think you are. And my thing is, if race doesn't matter in Brazil, why is it that there's so many Brazilians go to the United States and they complain like, oh my God, I've been white all my life. Now I'm not white. If you're not that attached to your racial identity, it shouldn't matter how people see you. I mean, to me, that's a contradiction. If you're not attached to a white identity, why does it matter that people don't perceive you as white, whether they see you as Latino or just Brazilian or even a person of color? So let's just look at some of the pictures here. This young lady is from Rio Grande do Sul. I mean, you just take a look at the faces, and I'm just curious to know, how many of these women do you think would actually pass or be considered white in the United States? Another lady from Rio Grande do Sul. This lady is from Piauí in the Northeast. I mean, just this is the winner, the eventual winner, Thielle Gois. We go on, I'm just curious. I'm not gonna just go through every picture and ask you, what do you think? This lady's from Santa Catarina, again, one of the states in the southern Brazil where most people consider themselves white. This lady's from Paraíba. Now, to me, she does not look white to me. Some people will call her mixed. Some people might consider her black. Either way you look at it, I mean, this lady's from Sao Paulo. My point is that, what is the standard for whiteness in Brazil? This woman is clearly not white to me. She's from Ceará. Okay. What else we have? Paraná. This woman, to me, okay, if she was to go to the U.S., how would she be classified? Do you see a white woman, a Latino, or a black woman? Either way, I wouldn't think that woman would be considered white. I don't think this woman is either. She's from the northeast state of Pernambuco. This young lady's from Rio. Just take a look. This woman is clearly black. I mean, at least for me, she's from Paraíba. What do we see here? This lady's from Ceará. So again, this is why I'm asking the question, what is whiteness? I mean, this woman is clearly black, the Amazonia Paraense. Okay. What else we have here? This woman is from Bahia. That's intriguing. A lot of times, from a state like Bahia is considered a majority black brown state, and you'll always see lighter skinned women being sent to represent Bahia, in the Brazil competition. All right. This lady is from Mato Grosso do Sul. What do you think? I'm just asking, what is the standard? This woman seems to have a more indigenous look to me. She's from the island of Fernando de Noronha, which is off the coast of Pernambuco. This lady is from Mato Grosso. This lady is from the state of Acre, a very small state. I mean, what do you think? I mean, how would you classify this lady? If she came in the U.S., how would she be classified? I don't know how she identifies in Brazil, but her facial features tell me this is not a white woman as well. This woman is from Minas Gerais. What do you think about this young lady here? She's 18 years old. This woman is, okay, this is another thing that I noticed. A lot of times you'll notice, and this used to catch me in Brazil, people will bleach their hair blonde and automatically people will think that they're white. But then when you look at their facial features, it's like, okay, the blonde hair threw me off, but doesn't mean that she's white. A lot of Brazilians like to wear, to color their hair blonde because it's considered the standard of beauty. This woman is from, it says Grande Minas Gerais. She looks a little bit on the indigenous side to me. Okay, this lady's from Mato Grosso. What else do we have? This lady's from Pará. This lady's from the Nordeste Paraense. I mean, she's clearly a woman of color. So again, and I've said this before, this woman, let me see, I can't even, Delta do Parnaíba. I mean, she might be considered white, not sure. And that's about it. So I'm just saying, that's just a question. I have to look at competitions for when the topic is race, have to really look at this. Like, okay, people who might be classified as white in Brazil may not be white on a global in terms of global standards. So anyway, congratulations go out to this young lady, Thielle Gois. She was the second Black woman to win the Miss Teen Brazil competition. All pretty women. But I just want to get an idea of what you all thought about this video. Drop a comment in the comment section, like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.